Hi friends! Today we are going to be creating our very own bumblebee. For this project you'll need a pencil and eraser, a marker or pen to outline, and watercolor paint. But definitely ask for permission before you use watercolor paints. But if you don't have watercolor paints or you can't use them, you can still use markers, crayons, or colored pencils. Alright friends, so the first thing we're going to do for our honeybee is make sure we have our pencil and eraser ready because, trust me, you want an eraser. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is try and find the center of our paper, and we're going to start by making the middle part, the middle body. Now this shape is more of like an awkward circle. It's not a perfect circle. It has some longness to it. And that'll be the start of our middle part of the body. Next, we're gonna come down and we're going to create almost like an almond shape for the bottom portion of our bee. Because they are fuzzy, I like to have that little bit of hair at the bottom. Next, we're gonna go with our eyes, and up here we're gonna just draw some ovals that are cut off as best we can. And then we're gonna go in and connect them almost with like a ridge or point. So that's our bee's body. If I'm going too fast, you can pause it. Just slow it down a little bit. Now for the wings, we want to try and make them even as possible, but sometimes it doesn't always turn out that way, and that's okay. So I'm gonna curve out and just kind of curve in with my wing. Now I'm gonna try and do the same thing on this side, but usually I'm not that lucky, and that's okay. I wonder if there's a bee in here right now. And then we're gonna drop it down and do the next portion of the wing. So next we're gonna go in and add our legs. Now we want legs that are connected here. We're just gonna kind of curve out with those and make them more irregular. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. Try and making them even, but if not, that's okay. We're gonna come in on this side. Then we're gonna come down here to the bottom, and I'm gonna do this part kind of in sections, just because this one's done with more sections. We're gonna try and make them even on both sides. So then we have our legs. And now I'm gonna come back up here in these small sections, and that's where we're gonna draw the arms almost. And they're pretty similar to these bottom legs, except they are gonna curve out a little. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. So once we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and go in and add our antenna. We're gonna do this closer to the top of the head. And we're just gonna go in and draw some nice lines. Now you don't want it to be perfect curved lines, you want them to be irregular. So now we're gonna go in and add some fun details. We're gonna go ahead and draw the lines for the bee's bottom. And I am gonna go in and just kind of create this like hair effect because our bee is fuzzy. Now notice I'm curving my pencil out when I go this way towards the edge, and then I'm going more so straight down when working on the center. And And then as I get closer to this edge, I'm curving it around. This just helps build dimension with our honeybee. So now I'm gonna get my black pen out and I am going to outline it. And I am drawing a smaller oval in my bee's eyes just to give it that impression of it having dimension to its eyes. So now we're gonna go in and add these almost like veins like a leaf to our bee's wings. So there is our bee. So now we're going to take our eraser after we've outlined it and erase away all of our pencil lines. Now I am going to color in my bee. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to start by working light to dark. So I'm going to put my yellow down here at this bottom. And next I'm going to get in my black. Now I'm going to try and water down my black so it doesn't become too overpowering. I'm going to go in and just start painting in. So it's more of a gray. I do that mainly because I want to keep the details in of my honeybee for the hair portion. Now I am making the ice black, so I'm going very slowly with the tip of my brush. Just filling that in. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, tip of my brush, going slowly. Okay, so for the next part, this is kind of up to you, but you can draw your bee on a flower, create a background for it. That's mainly the end goal, is to have a background for your bumblebee. Now, if you're using watercolor paint, I like to actually dip my brush in my yellow and just kind of splatter it. This gives the impression of pollen, I think. I feel, to kind of give it an idea that the bee is pollinating the earth. So that'll be symbolic for our pollen. And I'm just taking my brush, placing my hand down, and going down with my brush. Now it does create some of a mess, so make sure you have permission to do this. Don't just do it without asking. And there is our honeybee.